As kids, we can't wait to grow up. The idea of one day being as old as our parents is so outrageous, so far away it feels like nothing more than an imagined possibility. It's forever and a day from now, an eternity you can't grasp. Time, well, time is funny like that. A magical thing, elusive and slippery, impossible to grab hold of and control. Nearly impossible to conquer, though that doesn't stop us from dreaming. One day, you're a wide-eyed kid, the world a magical place full of mystery, adventures to be had, and the next, well, you're standing at the finish line, stunned and wondering just where all that time went. Well, I'm not at that finish line yet, as far as I know anyways, but I'm looking back, scratching my head in wonder as in a series of just a few blinks, life has rushed by, slipping through my fingers as easily as if I had been trying to grab hold of the air around us itself. Feels like just yesterday we were bringing home that bundle of joy from the hospital. He needed nothing more than to eat, sleep, and poop and be loved by us, and we were happy to oblige. I blinked and he was off to his first day of school, making new friends, and the tears of joy, as well as a little fear on my part, filled my eyes. I blinked the tears away and suddenly he was getting his driver's license, heading out the door on his own to hang out with friends at the mall after a long week of school. Blink. Now he's off to college, living on his own for the very first time. He's a good young man with a good head on his shoulders, goals of his own, and he has the whole world spread out in front of him, opening like a flower to greet the sun. More tears and another blink. Now he's getting married. He met that wonderful young lady while finishing his degree and working part-time at that little Italian restaurant down on the corner of 3rd and 8th Street. He's happy and she loves him. And we are now proud to call her our daughter as well. Another blink and now he's having kids of his own. How did I become a grandpa so fast? That's life though. A series of blinks and it's over. My dad always insisted on taking pictures of us as we grew up. That camera was always present and he happily snapped photos whenever and wherever he could. It was a hobby he continued until the day he died, a hobby he passed on to me as well. You know, there wasn't a birthday party, a school dance, a lost tooth, or any other life event that he didn't capture, and while he captured them all, he also captured all the stuff that happened in between. Those brief little moments in an otherwise mundane day, times like catching fish while we camped at Jackknife Lake every summer, working in the garden. Even a few here and there were snapped while we were wiping sleep from our eyes as we got up in the morning and got ready for school. Every moment he could, he captured. Always said it was important to save those moments, which I suppose is why I began documenting my life at a young age as well. I've done the same with my son, truth be told, I still do to this day. I'm sure that's much to his dismay, but I do it, even though I never quite understood the real reason why my dad did it, why it was so important to him, or, for that matter, why I find it so important as well. That is, I never understood truly until just today. You see, I was cleaning and found this old box of photos buried on a shelf in the back of the closet. The top was coated in dust from years of neglect, but inside, well, that was a treasure trove of a life well lived. That big old box was full of photos my mom had given me just after my dad had passed away a few years back. I've been sitting here staring at this photo for quite some time. How long? I can't really be sure. All I know is that I remember that day vividly, and even though it's been years since I thought of it, and even longer since the photo was taken, it might as well have been happening right this minute. I can smell the crisp scent of the pines that towered overhead, mixed with that cool winter air. The sound of the snow crunching under our snowshoes as we hiked through the forest, that heavy blanket of snow that laid thick over the feet of the towering pines, keeping their toes warm all winter long. I can feel the warmth of the sun dancing across my face as it soaked through the pines above, fighting off the chill from the brisk winter air. And I finally understood. After all these years, I finally understood. You see, while time sped forward in a dizzying series of blinks, the photographs bring me back to these treasured moments. Moments otherwise buried in the depths of our minds, forgotten and lost. The photographs are the true magic in this world. It's a magic with real power. They are the remedy to time's unending magical sprint to the finish line. They're the counter magic to those stunning leaps forward in a series of blinks that leaves us standing there confused at the end. Photographs are a true time machine, transporting us back and allowing us to savor and remember, to feel all that which has passed by in the blink of an eye. This is treasured magic, this time machine of a photograph, to reverse the ceaseless march to the finish line. Yeah, I remember that day in the pines all right. My dad had taken me out snowshoeing. It actually might have been my first time now that I think of it, but I was just too young to recall for sure anymore. I remember staring up at those pines as they creaked and groaned, swaying lightly in the light winter breeze so far up over my head. The warm sunlight splashing through here and there like pockets of inky warmth. He must have stopped and snapped this photo while I was staring up in wonder at those towering pines. I remember trying to figure out if they were what held up that brilliant blue winter sky. Now, all these years later, I understand. And I cherish the photo I've been staring at all afternoon. Because it's wrapped me in its magic, it's brought me back in time to this happy moment of my childhood with my dad. That photograph, that gift, is one of the most valuable bits of magic ever to be found in this world.
I want to give a thank you to Dave Szweduik from AIC Stories for writing and recording the story that you heard played throughout this video. If you like that, you should check out AIC Stories. It's the podcast that Dave puts on. He does original fiction as well as reading older stories and even reviewing stories. So go check it out. There'll be a link in the description below. The thickness planer I was using in this video was given to me by Vevor. You can find information about that in the description below, as well as a discount code that's available until July 18th to get 10% off. So check it out, and if you're interested, link in the description below. Until next time, cheers, and have a great day.